Hey everybody, my name is Amanda Frazier Hair Vixen, and I have been a longtime educator for Formula 18 and an influencer. And I've been telling you guys about how I was going to have a beautiful surprise guest model. And our newest Formula 18 influencer, Brittany, aka Rock Me Makeup, she is a hair and makeup artist to the stars, and she can give you guys some awesome tips and tricks. And she's actually an advocate for Formula 18 because of moi. She was in my chair. I told her all about it, and take it from here. Tell us how you love it.
Now I truly fell in love with the product, and just there's so many products out there. We've tried so many different things, but Formula 18 has truly transformed my hair.
It really has.
And I'm just so excited to share about it. I wanted to share with you guys my hair journey that I've been on, and obviously I'm still wearing extensions, but my own hair has grown so much. I've been able to get this blonde without the breakage and everything like that, just switching over to Formula 18.
Yay, and you can all see these baby hairs coming in.
Yeah.
As you can see, we are both extension lovers. We both have the long, the higher the hair, the closer to heaven, and the longer the hair, the better. So she's a big extension lover, and she started using Formula 18. And as you guys know, all of you artists out there that have extensions, blonde extensions, when they are donated, are typically not blonde. So when they are in the manufacturing plant, they are soaked in a bath, they are bleached and processed, and they don't last as long as a dark brunette or a black hair extension is.
Yeah.
So I actually asked Brittany, I said, your hair looks so good today, and what did you use? Of course, you want to tell them what you used with shampoo and conditioner?
Yeah. So I went with the luxurious shampoo conditioner, or the hydrate. Is that the hydrate?
This is the hydrate.
The hydrate, yes. So I'm so sorry. I did the hydrating shampoo and conditioner. But I actually gave myself a treatment today, and I did the leave-in with the mask. And I didn't have a long time in the shower today, so I really just left the mask on, I think just for 5 minutes. And I literally feel like my hair extensions look brand new out of the package.
They really do.
It's so exciting. I love this because I've had these extensions since December. So how many months?
Yeah, and pretty long for blonde, long extension.
Yeah, for blonde especially. And this is the walnut ash from Bellamy. So if you guys know walnut ash, it's just they don't last as much as long as they used to. So yeah, I do. I feel like my extensions are back, just fresh from out of the package. Yeah.
So I'm going to go over how I actually start my installs and upselling and treatment plans and all of that. Whenever I first get a client in my chair and we're ready to do a fresh install, the first thing that I do is I immediately bring them over to the bowl, and I use our Formula 18 purifying shampoo with the detox spray. It's one of our newer products out. If you haven't tried it, ask your rep about it. It is amazing. I really make sure that all of those oils and that product buildup is off the scalp. I do this for all installs. This can be for I-tips. This can be for K-tips, tape-ins, weft, even the brand new, they have the long extended tape-in weft. You can do that. It removes the oils off of the hair, and it really keeps it from sliding, and it really makes that install stay put. Whenever I'm at the bowl, I never like to put the conditioner directly on the roots. The reason being is that if you put too much moisture on the roots, it can cause your bonds to slide no matter what method that you're doing. So I typically use the hydrating conditioner on the ends of the real hair, wash it out, and then I will put on the mask, and I will put that on the ends of their hair. And then I will, of course, towel dry, bring them back to my station. And before I start doing an install, I immediately use the leave-in conditioner, brush it through, blow dry, and that's it. That's all I do on my initial install. You don't want to use too much product because it can affect your install on certain methods. So after I do the install, I then like to do what I call kind of a consultation on how do you take care of your hair? Tell me what you do. Well, now that you have extensions, we need to have a treatment plan on how to maintain the longevity of your
Yes.
extension.
Yes.
So I know I kind of taught Brittany this, but your extensions are not attached to your scalp. That's the first thing I say. So that natural oil, that sebum, is not running down the shaft of your hair.
Yes, to the end of your hair.
Yes. So you need to add moisture every single day. I say every single day because it's the truth. So I like to use the repair oil. I have been preaching, those have been following me, I've been preaching this for years. Less is more on this daily. I typically like to do about a dime size amount on my daily refresh routine. I'll just put about dime size in my hand. I'll mush it through. I'll put it in ends, mids to top, and I'll brush it through and distribute the product evenly. And then also before I heat style, I like to use the Protect and Shine. That's your daily maintenance. And that's what I tell everybody. I say, whenever you go home, you want to brush your extensions at least 3 times a day with a proper extension brush. And you want to distribute that oil and that Protect and Shine evenly. We also have another amazing product, and this is the Shine Spray. Yeah. I'm also a big advocate of using this, not necessarily every day, but every other day to freshen up your extensions, just to kind of bring that luster back on the ends of your hair. And before you heat style, it just makes it look really, really, really shiny. So I typically go over that, and I even sometimes put them together like a little package, depending on how large an investment that, that they say that they bought 24-inch extensions at 300 grams and they did a whole blonde out. I always like to give them a little sample of the shampoo and the conditioner and the repair oil. And typically they call me back, within a week of using it. And they're like, whatever that is that you put in my hair, which I've already told them, they come up to the salon and they purchase it. Yeah. I will tell you that you have to preach care of extensions. When you have fashion colors like me as well, they can also become very muddy. Muddy meaning they've lost their luster. They kind of look like you sprayed a bunch of hairspray on it. They aren't
kind of dull.
Dull is the perfect word. So whenever that does happen, I tell them, don't be scared to use a little bit of the purifying shampoo with a little bit of the hydrating shampoo. Emulsify it in your hands and then rub it through your extensions in the shower. Not necessarily scrubbing crazy, but I like to kind of get it in. And you can really see all of that product and environmental buildup just come off the hair in the shower or even in the shampoo bowl. So I actually kind of always like to preach that. And as far as like your everyday like styling, everybody says, can you curl your hair every single day? Well, I kind of like to say you don't have to. Extensions are the lazy girl hair. I mean, I maybe curl mine twice a week. Yeah. But for a refresh, and actually Brittany just turned me on to this, she likes to use the Shine Cream, the Formula 18 Shine Cream. And again, it smells amazing. And it doesn't feel greasy.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't feel greasy. And it's a really great refresh for those extensions. So go put a little bit in your hair. You said you do about a dime size amount.
Yeah, about a dime size amount. And I just love like the texture that it creates. It creates a beautiful texture in the hair, kind of like on day 3, day 2, day 3. And I just kind of want to revive the shine and just kind of create a little texture in the hair. I'll just put a little bit of that Shine Cream, and I just love how it kind of gives me that look. It's not like a wet look. I wouldn't necessarily call it a wet look, but kind of just like that pretty wave.
Exactly. So as far as the wave goes, I like to do a lot of waves in my hair product. Or in my hair. So I like to use product before I do my waves. So when I do that, I like to typically hit the hair with a hairspray. So I'll spray it all over, I'll brush it through, and then I'll curl my extensions, and it'll actually lock in that curl for longer periods of time. And I also kind of like to use the Shine Spray or the Protect and Shine Spray by Enjoy before you heat style. So whenever you heat style, if you don't use a protectant on your extensions, you're cutting the longevity of your extensions in half. you have to use a heat protectant. I'm sure you guys have seen those videos that go around on Instagram and such about if you put heat on a blonde hair, how it turns yellow. It's because you didn't use a proper heat protectant. So now that we've kind of talked about care and maintenance and what you can kind of educate your clients on, I want to talk about your move ups. Now, this is something that I have to say, I will preach and preach and preach to my clients about how important that it is that you use the right product. And in fact, I actually have an agreement that says that you have to use the Professional Formula 18 line, or I can't really guarantee the quality of the extension after you leave my chair. And so, with that being said, I have clients that have come in and they've been traveling. They are busy mamas working a lot. They're in different types of water. They forgot their professional shampoo and they had to use that hotel shampoo. So I will bring them in, I'll look at the hair and I can always test it. I do a quality test. You can immediately tell when you touch the extension how it's feeling. I'll remove the wet. I'll put it up on an extension rack and I'll brush it thoroughly. I will then take it over to my bowl and I do what's called it's kind of like a bath. It's like a mask bath. I will plug my bowl at the salon. I'll drop the extensions in and I will actually put it on. I soak the extensions for a little bit, make sure they're saturated. I bring them out. I'll put the Formula 18 mask on them and a couple drops of our amazing plant-based additive. If you guys don't know about this product, it's a game changer. I use it every time I shampoo and condition my hair. I put a couple raindrops in my conditioner and it has the I'm tongue twisting right now. It has the plant-based additive in it and it has the resurrection plant. So what this is it's a tumbleweed that can blow through the desert for tons of years and it reaches water and it revives. So we have this in our Formula 18 line, and I have seen this repair extensions that went in the ocean water and just were completely annihilated, and it can revive extensions. I've also had clients that I call them my glam clients. They'll come in, they've got a photo shoot, they wear their extensions for their wedding or their photo shoot or their kid's graduation, and then they want to take them back out. They throw them in that box under their bed, and then a year later, they're like, I want to put them back in. You can do this bath, soak them in there for about 20 minutes, and then you can start prepping your client for the install. And you're going to pull them out, and you're going to do your whole Formula 18 process. So what I do whenever I'm ready to revive the hair extensions that have been mangled, or just in general, I do this every time on not a bump up, but just a new install on reused hair, is I'll do the bath and then I will pull out the hair. I will put it on my hair extension hook. And the first thing that I spray is the Enjoy Holistic Detangler. Now I do dreadlocks. I will do all sorts of braids and things like that. I've never in my life seen a product untangle hair the way that this does. So if you guys can see that, it's a game changer. I will saturate the extension and I will start brushing with an extension brush and I will start from the ends to the mids to the top. Once I've done that, then I will immediately come in and I will do the leave-in conditioner, the Formula 18 leave-in conditioner. Make sure that the hair is towel dry and that you distribute the product evenly. And then I will, of course, come in with, everybody knows I preach this, the repair oil. Now, I like to use more than a dime size amount on rejuvenating my extensions. I'll use more of like probably a quarter size, emulsify it in my hands, run it through the extensions, and then I will do a round brush, blow dry, and the extensions will look brand new, even if they've been sitting in the closet in a bundled up mess, or you were on tour, traveling, whatever, and you weren't able to use the best product. It will revive your hair. So do you have any recommendations that you like to
No, that all sounds great. The only thing with the repair oil, and I know it does work best on wet hair and then blow dry it, but sometimes I just take a little bit in my hands and I put it on my dry just to refresh it.
It does, it
Yeah.
smells really good.
Yeah, it does.
But you know what really smells good is I will say I will say this all the time.
That one's your favorite.
That was my
strawberries.
favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our sales reps know, especially our lead sales rep, and he knows that it smells like rainbows and ponies, Skittles,
Rainbows and ponies.
cotton candy, whatever. And I actually use this every single day. If you guys follow me when I'm traveling around with my husband, I use the repair oil every day and the protect and shine every day, or the Formula 18 shine spray to revive my extensions. And it really makes your, 2-day-old blowout really look refreshed. So once you've done your new install, then you're going to go ahead and prep and style your client. Okay, so say we've done that. We've already prepped Brittany. She told you what she used. She used the moisture shampoo and conditioner, the Formula 18, and then she used the leave-in Formula 18 conditioner, spray conditioner, and then she used the repair oil. So you're good to go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here with my Formula 18 or my Enjoy Protect and Shine spray. And I'm going to use this as my heat protectant. And I'm just going to spray a little bit. And then I'm going to make sure that I distribute this evenly. But you can already tell just by using that, the shine, how lustery it is. So I'm going to brush that through before I heat style.
So this one does act as a heat protectant.
I use it as a heat protectant.
Okay.
Yes. We also have, we have a heat protectant let me see if I can find it here. So the repair oil I use is like my heat protectant. And actually I don't know if you knew this, you'll love this, but the repair oil, it cuts your blow dry times in half.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So I use this. If you've already put this in your hair, that's a heat protectant.
Okay.
And then of course I use the Protect and Shine spray before I use a curling iron, just to keep especially with the blonde extension, from turning yellow, which we all know that can happen. Also, I wanted to touch on yellow. If your extensions do turn yellow.
Mine do very easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do when that turns yellow? Do you use a purple?
I have the purple toner shampoo that I use. I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on extensions, you do have to be careful because they are treated chemically differently before we get them in the manufacturing plant. So I like to do, again, a bath with all of my extensions. So typically what I'll do is I will put some of our Formula 18 purple toning shampoo and I will put that inside of the bowl and I will do a bath. And when I'm doing my install, after I've removed them, brushed them through, I will put them in a bath and just move them around in there. Yeah. You really don't want to ever take a toning shampoo and directly apply it on the extension because it can grab and move very fast, especially if it's a professional toning shampoo like our Formula 18 line. So I suggest you can just put a little bit in the water, I would say like 2 good squeezes, stir it in, and then just make sure that you move the extensions around. Don't soak them in there for long periods of time and just keep pulling it out until you've achieved the tone that you want. So that's just a little trick. I don't know if you guys knew about that or not. So when it comes to my my styling, I've already put on my heat protectant. So I'm just going to do kind of a soft wave on Brittany.
Love that.
And I like to use it on a lower heat just because these are extensions. We're going to plug this in over here. Hold on. Here we go.
And then you could bring that one closer.
Ta-da!
And then do you want me to turn the chair this way?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
So right now, as you guys have kind of seen, the newest trend is actually the soft 90s curls. 90s are back. I'm here for the 90s.
I am so here. We welcome the 90s.
We welcome the 90s.
The music, everything.
Everything. So we're not really doing the beach wave curls anymore. We're doing kind of more of a soft 90s curl. So I like to do them all one way. So I'll curl all my hair on the right side of this section, going towards the back of the hair, away from the face. and then vice versa on this side, the left side away from the face. So I like to curl it through the mid shaft, then kind of clamp it down. And if you do see a little bit of like steam coming off, you're not burning the hair, it's just the product, okay? So you don't pull it tight, you leave it like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. So instead of pulling it around like this, you're just kind of letting it just kind of fall. You're not pulling it tight.
And are you curling through the ends or are you leaving the ends out? Do you still leave the ends out?
I kind of curl them. I put the ends in still.
You still, okay.
Yeah, because I don't like it when the end looks like straight.
Straight, okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of, I don't know, that's just me, but to each his own, okay?
Yeah.
Now, whenever I am doing my curls, of course, I did not put the hairspray on Brittany's hair because I'm gonna touch on that after this, but I do typically like to put the hairspray in the hair before I curl, but Brittany's really good and she's obviously a stylist and she's already prepped her hair for me.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask you, Amanda, if you like for example, if you're gonna do a wedding or a bridal party, do you like to prep their hair with the firm spray first and then style? Or style and then at the end use the firm spray?
I typically actually use the medium hold, which we just came out with before I do any styling.
Just on straight hair first?
On the straight hair first.
Okay.
So I like to put that on and I actually kind of brush it through and then I'll start doing my heat style. It doesn't make it crunchy. You'll notice with our medium hold, and I don't even feel like our hard hold, which I have here, our firm hold, I don't feel like it makes your hair crunchy
No,
either.
it doesn't. It doesn't. Because I use the firm a lot on set.
Yes.
Because I just want the hair to stay. I don't want it to move. And I feel like you can still touch it if you need to. But it's not like tacky or sticky, which is why that's my favorite hairspray.
You know, and also for me with extensions, like I said, I feel like extensions are the lazy girl extension. You know, it's a lazy girl hair. Extensions are for lazy girls. Especially like new mommies, they're always like, should I get extensions? I'm like, if you want to look cute all the time and not worry about styling my hair.
Always want your hair just to look amazing.
Like get up and go, get the extension.
Yep.
But you know, if you use the Formula 18 medium hold, whatever you style it, it typically will stay for a couple days and you can just brush it through with a curl comb, freshen it up like B and I were talking about. You can use your Protect and Shine, and you can actually just go through and use your curl comb to kind of freshen up your curls and break them up a little bit. I actually don't really brush through my hair with one of these. I actually kind of brush the top part of my hair and then I'll brush through my curls with the curl comb daily. And it just kind of maintains those curls.
It's a good trick.
It is a good trick. So Brittany, on set, typically would you say that a lot of the girls that come in have extensions?
You know what? I would say it's about 50-50. So a lot of people are on set are, you know, natural hair. And then the other half have extensions. So I'm seeing both. And
have you started using all the Formula 18 products on them now and they're just like loving it?
Yeah, I have. And I've just been getting really good feedback with it, really good results. That, you know, camera, everyone's happy with the hair. Because a lot of times on set, there's a lot of backlighting and it picks up like every little hair. Like you can see flyaways on the top very easily. And that's where I actually use the shine cream. I'll just take a tiny little bit in my fingertips, and then I'll just kind of like smooth the top of the hair and I'll get all those flyaways down. So then it just looks so, you know, precise and clean. Cause like I said on camera, sometimes, or in certain sunlight, if we're shooting outdoors, you can see all the flyaways. And some people have like worse flyaways than others. So the shine cream has really helped with that.
So another thing I like to kind of touch on is whenever you are bringing your clients back in and just say that they are doing a mini bump up, which they come in every 3 weeks. I have some clients that like their extensions tight to their head. They don't like them when they start growing out a little bit. And they'll come in for bump up like every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever. I like to add a little bit of a treatment upsell. I like to use the Formula 18 mask with our plant-based additive. And what I'll do is I'll shampoo and condition their hair with the luxurious Formula 18 shampoo and conditioner. And then I will take them over to my chair and I'll actually towel dry their hair and I will take the mask, put it in my hands along with a couple drops of the plant-based additive. I will brush it through, put it in a processing cap, and I will leave them under the heat for about 30 minutes. And it's a great little upsell that you guys can do. And it really revives the extensions in between the initial, reinstalls. Because as I said, some people, they just have a busy lifestyle. And when they come in, the extensions just, they look very dry or brittle or over processed. So, I like to kind of just create a little bit of a care package every time that they come in and put them under. Sometimes if they're a really low client, I will just do it as a move up and include it in my move up pricing. And sometimes, I will do it as an upcharge. I was telling Brittany about it is I like to do it on my color clients a lot. And, and if you need to, say that you are taking a men's cut or something and you're like, well, I'm kind of running behind today. I'm double booked or whatever. Then you can put them under the heat with the Formula 18 mask and come back and you know what? They've got beautiful new luxurious locks.
Amanda, from the last time you've done my hair, because Amanda's done a move up on me before, do you feel like my own hair, can you tell what's my own hair versus the extension? Do you feel like my hair has grown?
It has grown.
Do you remember I had those mullet pieces in the back?
She had.
Do you remember the breakage?
Breakage from over processing. But now Brittany uses the Formula 18 plant-based bleach, so we don't even have issues like that anymore. So, but yes, it has.
You've noticed?
I have.
Because remember we had to blend 3 rows.
Yes.
To blend.
Yeah, to blend
remember that?
extensions. Yeah. So after I've done this, so I just did a really soft curl. So with the 90s curls, as you guys kind of remember, they didn't curl it up here. They just curled it kind of at the bottom. So that's what's hip right now. Let me set this down so we don't burn anybody. Okay. And then I like to come in with my firm hold hairspray. I give it a little shake. And then I don't hold it really, really close up. I just kind of hold it back. And I run my fingers through it just to break up the curls. Oh my gosh, I love the smell. You'll probably notice, I never knock other brands, but you'll probably notice, and I'm sure you've noticed this, every single product of ours has an amazing smell to it. Especially some hairsprays, they can smell very chemically, and I've actually noticed when I've been on the road or whatever, and I've used other hairsprays that were just laying around at the time. They'll have air purifiers in the green rooms and they'll come on because of all the chemicals. But when I use Formula 18, I notice that they don't ever kick on. So, and it has a very natural smell to it. So
yeah, it does smell very natural.
So as far as our shine spray goes, I kind of wanted to go over that. This is great for holding a style after using a heat tool too. So I'm just going to come in and use a little bit of the shine spray. There we go. And then I actually kind of like to come in and use a little bit of the repair oil because I like to just add a little bit of luster to it. So I'm just going to use a little bit because Bee's already put some in her hair today. So I'm just going to emulsify it in my hands like this. And I'm just going to run it through the hair.
Just from the mid shaft?
Yeah, the mid shaft down, not up on top.
Okay.
I mean, you can, it's not going to hurt anything, but I like to just add as much moisture as I can back in the extensions. You know, and with Formula 18, like one thing that I've noticed about the repair oil is like it takes forever to blow dry extensions, especially when we have like 300 to 400 grams of hair. So you know, with the repair oil, if you towel dry the hair, like I like to kind of wring it out at the bowl, but if you towel dry the hair and you put a generous amount of the repair oil in the extensions, so when I section her hair before I do a blowout, then I actually like to do ends, mids to top, layer by layer with a little bit of Formula 18 in my, I'm so sorry, hang on one second here. Here we go. I like to put it like ends, mids to top and brush it through. And as I'm heat styling, it just keeps it from getting tangled in here. So I don't know what is happening here. Give me 1 second, y'all. I apologize. Hang on. Here we go. Okay.
Maybe you should answer.
I don't know how to, hang on. Something's happening and I have it on Do Not Disturb, but I don't know what is happening. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So I guess we're gonna keep. There we go. How do I get rid of this? I'm so sorry. Okay. That has never actually happened before. I don't know why it's beeping in like that. Okay. So anyways, back to what I was talking about. When I'm heat styling, I like to do ends, mids to top, layer by layer, section by section. And then I will actually kind of make sure that I brush it through just to keep it from tangling. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I kind of need to touch on.
That you've done with extensions.
But I've done with extensions, yeah.
We talked about how to revive them.
Yeah.
We talked about how to care for them.
Talked about how to care for them.
To make the longevity.
Heat protectant, yeah. Heat protectant.
We've talked about how to style them, what to use when we style. I feel like we've touched on everything.
Okay, sorry. I was just kind of thinking to myself, what were we missing? So as far as if you send your client a care package, you know, like I said, I actually will go and get these cute little containers on Amazon, and I'll put together a cute little package, and I will put in a little bit of the hydrating shampoo, a little bit of hydrating conditioner, and some of the repair oil. I'll put it in little to-go containers, and I will actually buy them a travel size extension brush, and I will put in a care sheet along with the contract of how to take care of your hair. I feel like on my hair care extension sheet, I actually have everything that you could imagine that has happened to my clients. I have recommendations of if you go swimming in the pool, what should you do? And as you know, that hair can turn green in pools.
Yeah.
So I always tell my clients before you even go swimming, especially with your extension, you're going to use a Formula 18 leave-in conditioner. You can use it on your hair dry. So I like to do that. I spray it all over before, and then I brush it, and then I'll go out in the sun. And then, of course, if you get in the ocean or you get in the pool, you've just had an extra layer of protectant on that cuticle. And then I put on my little spreadsheet, like recommendations as far as like, you know, hey, I suggest that you shampoo and condition your hair like every 7 to 10 days really on your extensions. But you can also do what's called a cheat wash, where you just take, have you ever done the cheat wash?
No, what's a cheat wash?
So some people's hair just tends to be oilier than others. So I will section just the real hair up and leave the weft out. And then you can just wash the top part of the hair and do your whole Formula 18 routine. And then you can just blow dry the top part of your hair. And then you can just refresh your extensions with the repair oil, the Formula 18 shine spray, and the protect and shine. And I also like to, you know, educate everybody on, as far as the extensions go, if they get out of the shower, you need to make sure that you educate them to brush from the ends, mids to the top. You're never just gonna go in and just start brushing.
Yanking it down.
Yanking it down. So you really need to use a really good detangler. And so a good detangler, like I said, is the Enjoy Detangling Spray right here. I like to really hit that underneath, in the middle, up on top, and then distribute that product evenly. And then I will use the leave-in conditioner. And then I tell everybody you want to start in, mid to top. And of course, before you blow dry, you're going to want to use the Formula 18 Repair Oil, like I said, because it cuts your blow dries in half. And with extensions, as you know, everybody dreads wash day.
Yep.
And this is just like an additive that you can use to just kind of help you blow dry that hair faster. So I think we've touched on everything, but I can't tell you guys how much I love Formula 18. And especially if you are an extension artist, if you really want your clients' hair extensions to have longevity and you're not constantly buying new hair, this is an investment. It is a luxury service. So you want to educate your clients on, if you are going to invest in a luxury service, then you need to get luxury professional products to maintain the hair, to protect the hair. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I can say this. I have 2 clients in Vegas that they had hair extensions for a year and a half, the same set.
No way.
Genevieve, yes, I can say that. She's
wow.
Did the same set because she's Formula 18. It really does increase the longevity of your hair. And I'm never gonna preach something that I haven't done myself. Obviously, I have 24-inch extensions. I have over 300 grams. And I can actually keep the same set for up to 8 to 12 months. So it's because I use Formula 18. But I love talking about these products. I could go on for days, but I think we've touched on everything today. And I also wanted to welcome Brittany to the team. And she is such a talented artist. I can't wait to see what she brings to our Formula 18 influencer family. And she's an advocate for it because she uses it, and her hair has come back from
growing. Like, I need a root touch up already.
I know, and she had overprocessed hair to beautiful luxury locks. So.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here, you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I'm so excited to be on the team.
And do you want to tell them what your Instagram handle is, so they can ask you any product questions?
Yes. I am Rock Me Up Makeup on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, I would love to answer any questions that you guys may have for me.
Awesome. And I'm, of course, Amanda Frazier, Hair Vixen, and I am always open for questions. I love to talk about Formula 18. I'm excited about these products because I have been using them since I started doing hair. I have always been such an advocate for them because I've also tried other things, and nothing works better than this line. And 2 seasoned artists, especially with hair extensions, are telling you, get your clients on this line. You will see such a difference, and it'll maintain your client retention, because if your clients are seeing that you're educating them, the extensions are staying in their hair longer, the extensions are lasting
longer,
then they're going to stay loyal to you.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have an awesome week and have a blessed day.